When I met Philip, he was a very strange, fast-talking man with a lot of demands, and I was never sure exactly where I stood with him. But the biggest thing I remember about him was, for some reason, I had to drop off something at his apartment, and I got to see a little peek of his art collection. And I guess only then that I really realized that it was more than just about a classifieds or a advert or some kind of a publishing, those kinds that you always see when you glance to your post box and it's got anybody and everybody's business on it. And I realized that it was actually a different kind of publishing, and there was a different kind of cause in it. And through the years, we've been privileged working with him in making the dream of having design bring functionality to something that's actually so full of information. And with the different maps, I've sort of going to just talk about the three things or three challenges that come out the most when we're dealing with this kind of information. And the first thing, that's the logo, is the pick me up. That's the cover. You saw the picture earlier that Jason showed that said, you know, who's the candy bar in the room? And when it comes to whether it's the cover of a magazine or whether it's the cover of a map, it's really got to fight out there for attention. It's really got to say, please take me, please take me, please take me. And from a design point of view, that's probably the biggest challenge, or the first challenge, is to get that first grab. So I've used the pink map as an example, and this specific one was one of my favorites. It had to actually speak to the audience in terms of the type of audience that will pick it up. It had to be attractive. It had to be very clear at what it was. And then the extra ability it had to have is it had to sell. It must be able to sell the cover. So there's a financial side to it that always has to come through, and the designer has to always keep that in mind. You can't always have all the white space you want. You can't always have the pictures you want. And it's about combining the two and getting everybody happy. I'm loaded. Now, you saw that picture of Philip with a nice little A4 with the little entries. When they brief the maps in, there's probably about 24 of those pages. And, you know, we've got to go out there and we've got to take all that information and put it in one A2 map. And it's got to communicate. And the best thing about these maps is it's asking more from our designers than any other decorative thing out there. It's actually going to ask us to say, use your design skills, use your typography skills, and use your layout skills to actually communicate exactly what you want, what you need to the audience. And by the way, you've got to make it all fit too. And on day number 99, I will get a call and say, oh, guess what? Good news, we sold 4 more spots. So, and that other one is pulled out, so could you please move that one to page 1 and that one to page 2, and there it goes. So the important thing from a design perspective is the fact that you've got to make it work. And you'll see I've enlarged this one on the right, and we've got to use a lot of design, whether it's the typography at the top and whether it's little red things, and every map's got to have its own personality and still communicate what it needs to do. Use me or lose me. The great thing about Philip's maps is it's actually a keeper. You know how many people pick it up and they look at it and they think, I'm going to hang on to this because I'm sure I'm going to need it. I'm sure I'm going to use it. And the designer needs to bring that message through very quickly, because you only have seconds when somebody's picked up one of our designs or or any design. I mean, you'll know, for yourselves, that you only have seconds, and then you decide, I'm going to put it back or I'm going to put it in my pocket. And it's the designer's responsibility to communicate that. So I've used the creative map here, and I've just picked up the routes and the getting around and the actual physical map in the middle. And all that is actually speaking to the user and saying, listen, you got to hang on to this. This is something you're going to be using later. The Creative Cape Town map was very, very exciting for us because it spoke to so many primal sort of needs in a designer. It had, we could wish for a better client than the Creative Cape Town initiative. And who could wish for a better brief than, listen, you've got to fit all of this on one page. And who can ask for a better client? And a personality, as in Zaid. And I think this was nice because the collaboration between Philip and the partnership actually put so many challenges in place that it gave us all the opportunity to actually show all the best stuff out there. So we needed to show Cape Town, we needed to show creativity, and we needed to communicate, and we needed to give value. And we needed to fit in some white spaces here and there. So I think there's one down there, and I think somewhere up there you might find another spot. But I think it really, really works well. I think it really has the energy of Cape Town. I think anybody who picks this map up will really feel like, oh, there's something happening here. There's definitely something of it we keep. And that's Infestation. Thank you very much.